few more. Hello, hello. Hi guys, how is it going this evening? Welcome to some yoga with Janelle. It is our flow night tonight. And so it is time to get moving, get shaken, get all that good stuff happening. So I'm just watching the feed to make sure things are going good. My doggy's just getting home from a walk, so she's probably a little excited. So let's find our way onto our mats if you've got yours rolled out. If you're just joining in, this is a free yoga class here for you. It's a gentle-ish style of yoga. So you can take it really easy if you want. If you're new to yoga or you're feeling tired, by all means, that's completely here for you. Or if you want to amp it up, I'll show you a couple of ways to increase some of the strength, increase some of the challenges that can happen with it. Not like we're going nuts or anything like that. Hang on, let me just switch the screen over. There we go. Now I can see what's happening. This is great. So yes, that's what's shaking for you. So tonight, roll out your mat. If you've got any props you'd like to use, I do encourage the use of them. I think they're really helpful for creating feedback and making some of the poses either more accessible or just actually helping deepen into them. Blocks can be really handy for that. So I'll just grab my block should I remember to actually use it here. So perfect, handy-ish spot. Excellent. Well, let's start on in here. Let's start. You're welcome to start in a seated position, or if you want to start lying down, that actually feels really great and nice. And for all of my actual classes in a studio that I teach, I like to start, and I encourage starting laying down. It helps you just kind of close your eyes and center in, but you can do that in a seated position as well, which me being on camera feels just a touch more comfortable than me just laying on the floor and talking. So that's where I'm at and what I'm going for this evening. So all right, let's take a big breath in. Let's just start with the breath. See if you can fill the lungs, breathing into that diaphragm. And exhale, start to sigh it out. See if you can start to relax a little bit on that exhale. Maybe you give a little shake through the shoulders. Maybe you roll those shoulders back and down. Maybe you feel that feedback through the sits bones as it's pressing, and you can lengthen through the spine, that slight tuck of the chin. Let's take that big inhale to lift and lengthen. Feel how everything rises up, and then exhale, roll those shoulders back and down. Start to soften. Then have that ever so slight engagement through the core, so that gentle pulling the belly button in towards the spine kind of movement. So keep breathing deep, filling the lungs completely, and then slowly letting it out. You can be breathing through your nose, or if your nose is a little stuffy, maybe it's allergy season for you, you're welcome to breathe out through your mouth. Either or works really well. Connecting in just a couple more breaths. Starting to feel subtle, starting to feel present on your mat, starting to be able to take it one moment at a time. Excellent. Thanks, Mommy. I'm glad the video is running good. We'll hope it stays that way. All right. One more big inhale. Fill the lungs. Exhale, maybe you sigh it out. And if you like to set an intention for your class, here is a great opportunity for you to take a moment and to have this practice follow a purpose, a mantra, maybe a little encouragement, maybe a goal that you're working on with your yoga practice. If you're going for strength or flexibility or balance, that just, setting your mind to something is very powerful. Or if none of those are working for you, of course, set your own. All right, let's wiggle into fingers, maybe into toes. Excellent. Starting to wake up the body. Maybe wake up through the neck if you're in that seated position. If you are laying down, start to roll up into that nice seated position. I'll make my way off of my feet And they're sitting in this nice half butterfly pose. So my left leg is extended long, right leg is coming in, and leg is nice and wide. So hugging that foot in towards the sits bone. So lots of times you might be over towards that bent knee a little bit more. Let's see if we can root both sits bones down, finding that nice stability through there. So having one leg extended here will actually make this a little bit trickier, but see if you can activate and pull into the core and find that strength and stability from within. So starting to warm up the body nice and easy, keeping this extended leg nice and active. So toes pointing up towards the ceiling. We're rolling those shoulders back and down. Take that quick exhale breath out to engage through the core. And let's inhale, sweep those arms up. Taking 3 of these here. So inhale, reach up nice and tall. Exhales, hands to heart center. Keep engaging on those exhales. Inhale, start to reach it up. Exhale, hands to heart center. So maybe you notice that you wobble a little bit through your sits bones, or you take some extra bit to stay nice and stable on that inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, bring it down, press into those hands, really set up here. Beautiful. All right, let's bring those arms up. Roll those shoulder blades back and down. Maybe you want to interlace fingers and flip the palms, or come to steeple. I've been digging the steeple lately, finding some openness there. We're going to come into a side bend here. So take a moment, planting through the legs, and on that exhale, tipping over. I'm tipping over towards the right, towards that bent knee. Maybe your hip starts to come up, really press into that sit bone. Feel that openness, feel that hip flexor on the left have to work. That leg is working hard to counterbalance. Inhale, come all the way up, reach up and over towards the other side. Feel how that's just a little different. Just changing the leg position, bringing one leg out might totally change the side bends. All right, let's inhale, reach up nice and tall, and towards the other side, drop that hand down. Maybe you're coming down a little bit lower. It might be a little bit easier with that leg extended. Maybe reach a little bit farther, playing around with it. If you still want to activate through that core, you can reach for the opposite hip as you come down, and staying nice and active through that extended leg. So all sorts of fun things to play around with here. All right, let's press all the way up and over towards the other side. So maybe you start to reach for those toes with that opposite arm. If you're able to find that openness, maybe your hand tracks down the leg. Maybe you reach for that opposite knee. Still feeling the legs be nice and active. Beautiful. Keep reaching, giving it a moment to settle in. Maybe you open up through that top arm. Beautiful. Start to release. And come on back up. Reach up nice and tall. Hands to heart center. Beautiful. All right. Let's start to release this. Bring that bent knee out long. Bring both feet towards center. Getting into those sits bones. Toes go up, sit nice and tall. Always the option here to bring the feet a little bit wider if that works better for your body. So just sitting here. Let's inhale, reach those arms up, finding just the length through the spine. So the arms help the lifting, and that nice big inhale breath also lifts up nice and tall and strong. Exhale, start to tip it forward. You can drop the hands down. Maybe you rest them above the knees, on the knees, below the knees. Maybe you can reach for those toes. Maybe you drop that head down. Whatever feels really good here. Maybe you notice the difference between one hip and the other as we've already started to use that left hip flexor of that extended leg. All right, let's release, start to roll on back up. Sitting nice and strong. Let's come in towards the other side. So now I'm bringing my left foot in, bending at the knee, sending my right leg out long towards the side, and trying to get both sits bones down. So if you're not getting both sits bones down, try bringing the foot more in front, or finding that sweet spot that works best for you and for your hips. Because although we all have a pelvis and a hip socket, and there's that nice joint that happens there. The shape of both of these is different on every single person. So that femoral head that inserts into the hip has a different shape for everyone. And so maybe you've got those externally rotated hips, so wider apart feels better, or maybe bringing it together. So although we're doing the same pose, each person's shape can be a little bit different. And it just takes a moment to honor that and appreciate the fact that your yoga is going to look different than my yoga. And I think that's really exciting and cool. All right, so we found our sit bones. We're sitting nice and tall. Let's inhale, sweep those arms up. 3 big sweeps here. Inhale, reach up, grounding into those sits bones. Exhale, hands to heart center. Release it down. Inhale. Rise up, sweep. Exhale, hands to heart center. Keeping that extended leg nice and active, toes pointing upwards. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Pressing into those hands, core is nice and engaged. Maybe you take that quick exhale breath to really pull everything in, nice and controlled. Let's bring our arms up just to interlace them, flying that length. And take that exhale, tipping over towards that bent knee. So using that core, trying to keep the sits bones in, not floating the leg up. Moving around however you need. Try to keep those hands interlaced here. You can even reach for opposite elbows if that's a little bit easier on your shoulders. All right, come on, back up. Reach up nice and tall, plant into those sits bones, and over towards that extended leg. Keep pressing into the feet. Surprising just how different this is, right? All right, let's inhale all the way up and over to that nice extended or that bent knee side. You can drop that bottom arm down. Maybe you're high up on your hand. Maybe you come down forearms. Feeling where you feel that stretch, feel really good. Maybe it's through the hip where you start to find length. Trying to get it through the side body, through that rib cage area. Maybe you reach even further. Taking a moment here. Nice big breath. Press into that bottom arm, sweep it up, find that length, and over towards the other side. So maybe that hand drops down towards the foot. Maybe you try to reach the other arm towards the foot. Maybe that bottom arm comes to the knee or to the waist. Keeping that extended leg nice and active. Beautiful. Letting that settle in just for one more big breath. Exhale, let it out. Beautiful. Start to float yourself back up. Reach up. Hands to heart center. Let's bring both feet forward. Back into our little staff pose. Maybe you're feeling into those hamstrings. Let's activate through the toes. Nice and active through the back line of the legs. Maybe you imagine that lifting of the kneecaps. You can even bend the knees gently if that works better for your hamstrings. They definitely don't have to be straight legs by any means. All right, roll shoulders back and down. Find that length. Inhale. Lift the arms. Exhale, let it out. Inhale one more time. Reach up. Exhale into that nice forward fold. So either reaching for the toes or anywhere along the leg, letting it feel really nice. Beautiful, connecting with that breath. Nice and strong. Feeling that maybe release on the low back. Another really nice option here, let me just spin over to the side, is to start this by bending the knees and holding on to the feet, and then walking the feet forward. And when you feel like you're at your max, you're just simply at your max, but you have that nice leverage of the arms and the hands hanging onto the toes or the feet, and to feel that nice release through the shoulder. So it would be the equivalent of using a band or a strap to pull yourself in this pose and posture. Beautiful. All right, let's start to roll back up. Nice, strong, seated position. Beautiful. Let's have some fun now. Ready to join this with me. So I'll stay kind of sitting at an angle to make sure that you guys can see. Let's bend the knees, plant the feet. Maybe you bring the feet in a little bit closer, holding on to the knees, sit up nice and tall and strong. Take a moment, pulling everything in. Find that nice stabilizing, find those sits bones. Beautiful. So I'm hanging on to my knees here, and I'm using this to start maybe by bringing my feet in. I start to tip back ever so slightly. I lift through the heart. So nice flat back here. And then I just float my feet up ever so slightly. Nice and easy, still hanging on here, still finding that length, lifting through the heart. And then when I'm feeling strong and able, then I can start to slowly let go of the knees. So if you start to round through, especially that low back or through the back, you might need to ease off a little bit. Maybe you touch your toes down or your heels down to engage through that core, or you can float the knees up. So keep pulling the inner thighs in nice and strong. Lift through that heart. All right, let's activate into our brain now. So here's our brain yoga part. I'm bringing my right foot underneath, and I'm touching for the heel. Come back to neutral. Left foot underneath, and reach on for that foot. Let it go. So let's take a couple of these, finding that nice little movement, using the core, and starting. It's nice and easy because we're going opposites, so the brain can keep up. Once you figure out what you're doing, keep sitting nice and tall and strong. Couple more on either side. Beautiful. Bring it in. Excellent. And then let's hug the knees and land it. Beautiful. Take a little moment, reset through the spine. Bring those knees in nice and strong. Excellent. Let's float it back up into our nice, just easy boat pose. Core is engaged, belly button comes in. Beautiful, feet floating up. And then let's start to release the hands nice and slow. Reach on forward. And so now for our next one, maybe you're just touching opposite knees. If you want more, you can build it up, bring elbow towards knee. Maybe if you want more, you extend the leg as you bring your opposite knee in. Beautiful. Feeling all of that. Playing around with your boat pose. You're rowing your boat. Connecting with that breath. Use those exhales to engage. One more either side. Hold it. Come back to your nice neutral boat. Grab onto the knees and land it forward. Excellent. Great work. All right, I've got one more for us here. So take your little moment, sit up nice and tall, find it, land it. Start to float those legs up. Maybe you still have your heels touching down. You can bring the feet down, maybe to heel or to tiptoe at any point here. Let's start to release through those hands, reach it out. Excellent. Remember how we touched for foot at the beginning? We went underneath the leg. Well, this time, let's go over the leg. Working through it, feeling that core, trying to pull everything in, tap in for the foot. If you want to add more, you can add more into the twist. So maybe you reach one arm out and back. I've got the wall in the way here. So reaching above. Keep pulling in for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, great work. Land it. Come back in a nice seated position. Roll the shoulders back and down. Just taking a little moment. Odds are you probably hunched into this. So really try to find that length. Maybe lifting through the heart. Maybe you take that little back bend where you look up. You can hold on to the knees to anchor. That feels really good. Beautiful. Relax, release. All right. A few more poses for us here. So, just real quick, it's just a transition back into that bridge pose. If you want more, or if you want to take it easy, simply roll back into a nice reclined position, or try to do so slowly, maybe even to a count of 10. For this nice intermediate, let's start to release the legs, using that core nice and strong. If you want more advanced, send the legs out long and start to bring the arms either to T or up overhead. So let's lower down nice and slow for a count. 3, 2, and 1. Keep the shoulders, keep the feet up. Let's come to our nice flutter. So little canoe flutter here. nice and easy as maybe not even using the hands. Maybe you're just up on the elbows slightly. Maybe your hands are fluttering alongside the body at that T or up overhead. Trying not to punch any tables. Excellent for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let it go all the way down. Settle into your mat. A nice big breath. Inhale. Take that good morning stretch. Reach up overhead. Point through the toes. Exhale. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Take that nice rock from side to side. Great work. The tough part is mostly done. Unless you don't want it to be, then of course I can sneak core, I think, almost into any pose. Even that exhale, you can engage the core, pulling belly button into the spine, or practicing ab hollowing just simply by breathing. So yeah, you can fit it in anywhere. All right, let's come back to that stillness. That low back got a nice big massage. Let's start to release the feet, plant the feet in towards the mat. Knees are nice and bent. Roll those shoulder blades back and down. Really find that space along the body. Engage through that core, so setting that belly button in. And imagine squeezing the glutes together, even here. So before we're lifting up, nice big glute squeeze. This will activate more into that low back, making this more of a low back exercise. If you want, hands can be palms down for that stabilizing. And start to press into the feet. Lift the hips up. I'm still squeezing my glutes here. Everything is nice and engaged. Zips up and in. Core is active. Maybe you press up a little higher. Make sure the knees are tracking over the feet. Come up maybe just a little higher. Nice big bridge pose. Excellent. Become aware of the hands now. Maybe can you come on and lift the hands up. Maybe you come into the sparkle fingers. Maybe you can reach those arms up overhead. Excellent. Press those feet. Get those hips a little higher. Coming up higher on those shoulder blades maybe. And exhale, let's roll it down one vertebrae at a time. Coming all the way down. Nice massage across the back. Excellent. All right, coming in, I got one more funky move for us here. I haven't done this since I think the first week I ever taught yoga. So we're gonna exhale, engage through the core, pressing into the feet, reach those hips up. And this is the motion that I'm going for. So you can simply wiggle through the body to reach for the toes, coming into one side, trying to get into those obliques a little bit more. Or you can start to make this really pretty, reaching one hand up overhead, coming into a nice side bend, and transitioning towards the other side. So I'm still reaching down for the heels, but I'm using more of maybe my back or my shoulders, getting into the arms as I lift and lower. Sorry, Cal Dog's going in the middle of the screen. I'm still trying to keep my hips nice and lifted. So it feels kind of dancey. It's nice and pretty. It's kind of nice when she comes close. So to adjust the lighting, but I can't figure out how to make it stay like that. All right, couple more on either side here. Maybe you're really feeling that through those glutes, through those quads, through that core and low back. Or maybe you could do this all day long. Beautiful. All right, find that stillness. Untuck those shoulder blades. And roll down nice and slow. Excellent. Coming down all the way. Beautiful. All right, one last little bit of core move for us here. I've got two options for you. So the more gentle option is coming into our half waterfall. So I've got one leg bent, one leg nice and extended. And then you're just going to start to lower it down and bring it back up. So it's like one-legged leg lifts. Really engaging. If you want maybe a little bit more, maybe something in between, you can bring that opposite arm and reach up for the toes or for the foot, trying to activate into that upper core a little bit more. And then if you're ready for more, take a moment here, press into that bridge posture. Take your set nice and strong. Maybe you root down through the hands to help stabilize and extend one leg up, coming into that bridge waterfall. Excellent. Keep pressing in. Let's lower it down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and one more. Lower it down. Bring it back up. Keep lifting those hips nice and high. Bring a bend to that leg. Come back towards neutral. Staying up in your bridge pose if that's an option for you. Or if you're doing the more gentle version, let's switch over towards the other leg. So left knee is bent or right leg goes up, whichever, opposite of whatever you're doing. Come into that little half waterfall first. Maybe those hips are lifted up off the ground. And let's lower it down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Lower it down. Bring it all the way back up. Lift into those hips. Bend through that knee. Plant it down. And nice and slow, let's roll down one vertebrae at a time. Excellent. Once you get all the way down, you can drop knees from side to side, coming into that nice windshield wiper. Connecting with the breath, maybe. Can you feel the breath moving throughout the body? Excellent. All right, let's find that stillness. And make your way back up to a nice seated position. So maybe you roll a couple of times, giving that low back and back a nice little massage. And then sit up nice and tall and strong. Feeling those sits bones. Bring the soles of the feet to touch. And start to let the knees open up. Beautiful. Start here with a nice flat back. Roll those shoulders back and down. Excellent. Maybe pressing into the legs, activating. Maybe you're pressing into the feet together. Then you can do this without the anchor of the hands. Maybe your hands come to heart. Beautiful. And then whenever you're ready, you can start to add that bow forward. The closer the feet are in towards the sits bones, the more intensive this will be. The farther apart you bring the feet, the more gentle this will be. And take a little moment, add a little twist in here. Reaching one hand just simply behind the back, not overly trying to twist or anything, just finding that openness through the shoulders. I could do this without even reaching. Excellent. Beautiful. All right, if you want, you can round through the shoulders now. Drop that head down. Maybe you feel that release through the low back. Taking one full round of breath. Nice big inhale. Exhale, let it go. Beautiful. Let's start to come back up. Bring the knees in. Excellent. So hang on to the knees again. Roll those shoulders back and down. Bring the hands stabilizing back behind you. Whatever works best for your hands, whether you want the fingers pointing back or maybe slightly out towards the side. Bring the feet about hip distance apart. So let me just come at a bit of an angle here. We're just going to press into a little reverse tabletop. So pressing into the feet, lifting the hips up off the ground. Coming on up. If you want more intensity, you can bring it into reverse plank. Sending the legs long. Keep those hips nice and lifted. Feeling that extra bit through the shoulders. Beautiful. Let's bring the feet back. Come into the tabletop. Come all the way down. Excellent. Come into that seated position. And maybe you roll right over hands and knees. And coming in to that all fours position. Rolling those shoulders back and down. And a couple of just nice little cat-cow breaths, helping working with the spine. So that inhale to look up, dropping that abdomen down. Exhale to round. Moving with your own breath here. Maybe you're trying to slow that breath down after that craziness at the beginning of class. Come on, it's my gentle-ish flow class. I feel like I've got to include a little bit of core. And it's your own choice to go as intense or as easy as you want. So if you find yourself in pain, it's up to you to take it easy. Or if you find yourself thinking this is way too easy, it's up to you to be brave and go for more. All right, let's find that nice neutral position there. Nice and strong, not spending too much time here. Let's tuck those toes under, starting to press into the hands, lift the feet up, and coming into our nice downward dog. Maybe you want to pedal it out. Maybe drop the head, give it a nice shake. No. I used to always hold so much tension in my neck, and I'd always be like looking up and this, and maybe part of that was to try to see the teacher at the front of the room. But as my practice has moved on, and I don't need to look up for everything, that releasing of the head feels so good, and I can press more into the arms. All right, let's take a little flow here. So rolling over into our plank position. I'm going to drop my knees down today for more gentle. Keep them up if you want that intensity. And then let's lower down nice and slow, letting the elbows graze the ribs. Exhale down. Inhale, press it up. Roll shoulders away from the ears. Tuck the toes under. Press into that nice downward dog. Beautiful. Nice and strong through the arms. Let's look towards the front of the mat. Hop, step, jump, or tiptoe. Into a forward fold. Exhale. Let it go. Shake it out. Maybe this is your recovery pose. Beautiful. Inhale. It's halfway lift. Nice and long and tall through the spine. Slight tuck of the chin. Maybe you plant your hands into your legs. Bend through the knees. Sink through the hips. Coming up through that nice chair pose, all the way to standing reach up. Hands toward center. Beautiful. Let's relax the hands down. Inhale, sweep up nice and tall. Reach up. Engage through the core, so watch, are you puffing those ribs out? Can you bring them in, tuck them in? Hands toward center. Excellent. I'm going to start tonight by bringing my right foot back, starting in a nice high lunge position. So high up on those back toes. We're trying to be bending through that front knee. Roll left hip forward. No, left hip back, right hip forward. I say that like 1,000 times. You think I just have it down. But tonight I'm needing to think about it. So my hands are on my hips for that body awareness. I still bend into my back knee. I think that's just because my quads are so tight. So I'm working on straightening that back leg. But for now, I'm working with where my body is at. Feeling that big squeeze through the hip flexors and through the quads as I try to get my shoulders over my hips. And then add that nice bend through the front leg. Excellent. So there we go. Let's inhale, sweep those arms up. Pressing strong into those legs. Reach up. Excellent. Hands toward center. Beautiful. Squeezing in through those shoulder blades, pressing into the hands. Excellent. Let's add a twist. Staying up nice and high though. So twisting towards the left, towards that front leg. Maybe you feel that right hip drawing more forward. Keep pressing through the leg. Trying to look alongside. Keep sinking in. Excellent. If you really want to add the bow into it, you're more than welcome to, but it actually makes it easier on that right foot, on that right leg. But it can intensify the twist as you hook the elbow on the knee. Excellent. Start to untwist. Come on back up. Beautiful. Shoulders are over the hips. Pressing firm. Maybe bring that bend to the right knee. Excellent. Let's twist towards the opposite side now. And drop that back heel down. So now I'm more in a warrior two stance, just simply by twisting and finding that openness. Now my hips are pointing more of that north and south. As you twist, keep pressing in, keep pressing, maybe even face towards the back of the mat. Beautiful. Excellent. Let's start to untwist ever so slightly. Reach it out for that nice warrior two. Sink in nice and deep. Bring elbow towards the knee, coming into a quick little extended side angle. Feeling that nice stretch through the side of the body. Let's float on back up. Warrior two. Flip the front palm. Lock the legs in, so bending in nice and strong. Getting ready to come into a reverse warrior. So just tipping the upper body Feeling that nice side bend through the opposite side. Keep bending into that front leg. Maybe you reach up and over. Excellent. Float on back to our warrior two. Beautiful. Bring the hands towards the heart. And let's start to twist back towards the left. So hopping up onto those back toes. Watch this transition here. Up on the toes. Hips are now squared towards the front. If you want, you can keep twisting towards the left. Beautiful. Untwist. Reach up. Nice crescent lunge. And if you want, you can exhale. Frame that front foot and step towards the top of the mat. Or, without framing the front foot, maybe you heel toe that back foot in a little bit closer. Coming into a nice forward fold. Excellent. So option is to hang out in forward fold if you don't want the whole vinyasa thing. Totally an option for you. Just to hang out here. Maybe you bring the hands onto the small of the back. Maybe you reach the arms up. Maybe you march out the feet, bending through one knee. Or let's work towards our downward dog. Maybe the child's pose is a great option. So that inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands back. Maybe you take a nice big hopper step back into that downward dog and drop the knees into that child's pose. Great option there. Or from your downward dog, we come to our plank. We lower it down. Press up. Take that nice yogi push up. Roll those shoulders away from the ears. Maybe you want that up dog nice and strong. Curl the toes under. Push back. Downward dog. Let's take a second flow. So wherever you need to modify, maybe you want those knees down. Nice little yogi push up. And downward dog. So you're feeling that child's pose, meet back in downward dog. And then let's all meet back in that nice forward fold. So maybe you take a nice big step up, meeting back, and forward fold. Excellent. Nice and strong through the legs. If you want, you can bend through the knees. That'll help release the low back a little bit more. Inhale, halfway lift. Maybe plant the hands, find that length through the spine. Slight tuck of the chin. And then exhale, bend the knees, sink the hips, sweep up into that nice chair pose. Press all the way up, reach up, and start center. Release the hands down. Inhale, reach up and hold. Find that length. On your next exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Excellent. All right, let's step those left toes back, coming into that nice high lunge position. Extending nice and long, setting the feet as you need to. Feeling maybe that tightness through that left leg. I get the left leg straight. If I start to bow forward a little bit more here, keep rolling right hip back, left hip forward. Maybe even your hands are on the hips for that awareness. Sinking into that front leg. And start to bring those shoulders over the hips if you're bowing forward. Finding that length through the quad. Inhale, reach those arms up. Nice, strong. Maybe you want your crescent lunge. Beautiful. Exhale, hands to heart center. Then let's twist towards the right, so twisting towards that front leg. Maybe staying nice and high up on the body. Twisting around, nice and strong. Keep pressing into the feet. Beautiful. And if you really want, then you can bow down and hook the elbow. Keep pressing into the legs though. Find that length and strength. And then press into the hands. Maybe twisting a little deeper. Excellent. If you're hooking on the elbow, let's unhook. Keep that nice twist though. And then untwist it. And let's start to twist towards the opposite direction. Planting now that left heel down. Coming into that warrior two stance. Keep twisting. Keep pressing this right leg to the outside of the mat. Maybe even twist and look towards the back. Beautiful. I can't see it, but I'm assuming it's wonderful. You're attempting it, and I think that's the beauty of it. All right. Let's untwist a little bit. Reach out for that nice warrior two. Sink into it. Come into your extended side angle, reaching up overhead, feeling that nice connection all the way from the fingertips through the body to that back foot. Outstanding. Let's float up to our warrior two. Flip that front palm, lock the legs nice and strong, and tip it back. And coming into our reverse warrior, our exalted warrior. Keep bending into that front knee, nice and strong. Beautiful. Float it back up into that warrior two. Bring the hands to heart center. And let's start that twist towards the right again to come back into our nice high lunge. And so at some point, you're hopping up onto those back toes, working with that balance, pressing into the legs. Excellent. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Beautiful crescent lunge. Finding that length, finding the strength. Outstanding. And if you want, you can simply step towards the top of the mat, or you can bow down, frame that front foot, and take a hop up into that forward fold. Nice big breath. Inhale. Halfway lift. Nice and long. Exhale, either just back to a forward fold or getting ready to Vinyasa or child's pose. So planting the hands down, stepping it back to that downward dog. Maybe dropping the knees here, or taking two nice flows. Or you can take one flow in a child's pose. It's always a nice option. Doesn't have to necessarily be two flows. Connecting with the breath. Feeling it moving throughout the body. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath. Leaning back in that nice downward dog. Nice and strong through the hands, through the shoulders. Feel the lengthening through the back. Look towards the front of the mat. Take maybe a big step towards your forward fold. Outstanding. Inhale, halfway lift. Take a moment, find the length. Exhale, bend through the knees, sink the hips. Maybe you reach the arms all the way up. Hands to heart center. Sink a little lower. Press all the way up, reach up. Hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale, back into your chair pose. Bend through the knees, 3 little pulses here. So maybe you're coming down nice and low, coming all the way up to standing. Or maybe you're keeping it nice and gentle. Feeling that connection, pressing the weight into the heels. Reach on up. Hands to heart center. Beautiful work. Find that nice mountain pose. Take the dog hair out of your mouth. Connect in with the breath. Nice big inhale. Exhale. Root it down, engage through the core. Release the hands, palms facing forward. So tucking everything in, pressing into not just the toes and the heels, but see if you can press into the outer edge of the feet, like you're dialing the knees out, activating into those fascial lines, finding that strength and stability. Core is nice and tucked, chin slightly tucked. All the length in the world. This is the tallest you could possibly be. Beautiful. Let's start to float that right leg up. I'm going to mirror you here. So I'm bringing my left leg up, you to your right leg. So bringing it up here. And then extend it, but extend it low. So I'm not extending, trying to go for that 90 degrees. I've got my heel just a couple of inches off the ground. Finding that stability, that balance. All right, let's play around with this here. So I'm flexing through my foot here to start. Now point through the toes. Keep that balance. Flex through the foot and point. Come to neutral. Excellent. Now with a flexed foot, let's do 5 circles. Pick a direction. Starting to move it out. One more. Point the toes. Go the opposite direction. 3, 4, and 5. Excellent. Keep the toes pointed. Opposite direction. Feeling that through the hip flexor, It's like the walking on the ceiling exercise I do reclined, but in a standing variation. So working that as your core, flex through the toes, keep going same way. Is the core still nice and engaged? Maybe you have to take a moment to reset. Excellent. Feeling that burn. Try to get 1 or 2 more in. Excellent. Float the foot. Flex the toes. Point the toes. Flex. Maybe you bend the knee. Try to hug the knee in towards the chest. Bring your arms. Grab onto the leg. And hug it up. So we're still working now with that standing leg as we're hugging the knee in towards the chest. Or you can reach underneath the leg if that feels better for you. Letting the knee and the ankle be soft. And then extend that leg. Trying to kick it out all the way. Excellent. Bring a bend. Extend it long. And bend. 2 more. Extend it long. Excellent. 5 more is actually 3 more. So there we go. Beautiful. Now drop that foot back down. We worked both hip flexors there. That feels great. Maybe you need to step it out. Maybe you need to wiggle from side to side. And find your movement you need to take to help that release. Beautiful. All right. Let's inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, release, sweep it up. Interlace the fingers. Maybe you come to your steeple, pull that core in, then tip on over for our moon read. Feeling that nice side bend. Still finding length, pressing into the feet. Come on up, reach up. Exhale, other side. Nice and strong. 1 full round of breath here. Come on up. Hands to heart center. Outstanding. Pressing into those feet, find that nice strong mountain pose. Palms facing forward, roll shoulders back and down. Core is engaged. Pressing into not just the heels and the toes, but the outer line of the feet. Dialing the knees outward and zipping up the inner thighs. Excellent. So now starting to float the opposite leg up, floating that left leg up. I'm mirroring you, so my right leg is going up. Take a moment, bend the knee, find your balance here. And then extend the leg, but nice and low, so just a couple of inches off the ground, flexing through the foot. So starting to feel that flex through the outer thigh maybe, point through the foot, flex. And a couple little circles, pick your direction. Excellent. Come to stop, point the toes, and go the opposite direction. Excellent. Keep it going. Couple more. Come to a stop. Flex through the toes, but same direction. That's what it was. You try remembering it all. I didn't write it all down. Excellent. Couple more. Keep that balance. Keep that core engaged. Come to a stop. Point. And do the one we haven't done yet. So I know it's, for me, counterclockwise. And I think it's with toes pointed. Beautiful. Keep more. A couple more. Feel that burn. Keep working with it. Come to stillness. All right, bend that knee in. Maybe you give it a nice big squeeze up. Starting to feel the release through that left hip and the engagement through the right. All right, maybe you bring your hands underneath. And let's go for our little extensions here. We've got 5 of them. So kick that foot out. Bring a bend. And kick it out nice and long. Bend in. If you want more, you can do this without hanging on to the leg. Last one. Excellent. With control, lower it back down. Great work. You can step it out. You can sway from side to side, getting into all of those muscles around the hip. If you're doing little hip circles, go the other way. Get both sides in. Standing nice and tall and strong. Great work. All right, let's inhale. Reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Last round of flows or vinyasa for the night. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands down, take a big step back. Press into that downward dog. Let's take your 2 flows, however you want them. Maybe you want to go strong, keeping those legs lifted for that extra bit of strength. Maybe you want the chaturanga, opposed to just lowering down. Alright, meeting back in that downward dog. Beautiful. Drop the knees. Lower it down into that nice child's pose. Settle in. Relax, release. Maybe you activate into the hands, pressing in, bringing the elbows and the arms up off the ground. Or maybe you just soften into it. Nice big breath. Feel the heartbeat without taking your pulse. And can you just sense into it, or maybe you can just hear it. On the next exhale, start to press on up. Come all the way up. Take a moment here just sitting on the feet. Just getting into those ankles and just a little bit more. Beautiful. See if you can take 3 big rounds of breath here. Nice big inhale. Exhale, let it out. Fill the lungs. Maybe you sigh it out. One more big breath in. Exhale, release. Excellent. Slowly starting to come up off the feet. Making your way into a nice reclined position. So maybe you just spin around and drop it down. Feeling that connection of the floor and the mat. Knees are bent, feet are planted in. Nice and strong. Feeling the spine. Roll those shoulders back and down. Feel the length of the neck. Beautiful. Let's bring the left knee in towards the chest, wrapping the arms around, giving it a nice big squeeze. So coming into that half wind relieving pose. So maybe you hang out here. Maybe you bring the right foot all the way extended, or really anywhere in between. Finding that sweet spot. So maybe you want more over the body, or you start to open up, pulling the knee more into the underarm. Trying to stay relaxed through the shoulders. Trying to stay relaxed through that right hip. Spine is nice and connected. If you want, you can take a couple of little ankle rolls. Taking a moment to settle in here. Beautiful. So I'm hugging onto my left leg with both of my arms here. And then I'm going to just grab it with my right hand, so with the opposite hand of the leg. Reach that left hand out and bring the leg all the way across the body for a nice twist. So maybe it doesn't come all the way down to the ground. Maybe you just touch your foot in. Or maybe you're able to keep both shoulder blades and roll on over. So right leg still extended. Can you soften? Are you squeezing or holding any muscles? Can you start to let it go? Connecting in with the breath. Maybe gaze goes towards the left or the opposite side of the bent knee. Beautiful. On your next exhale, start to return the neck to neutral. You can let go of the knee, or maybe with a helping hand, bring that leg back up. If you want, you can give it one more nice big squeeze in towards the chest. And then either plant it down or send it nice and long. Start to bring that right knee in towards the chest. Give it a nice big hug and squeeze. Rolling those shoulders back and down. And then maybe start to extend that left leg a little bit more. And finding that sweet spot with the right hip. Finding that softness. Holding for a couple of breaths here. If you want, you can do the little ankle rolls on this side. Whatever you did on the other side. Excellent. Squeeze that knee in nice and tight. And then start to hold on to that leg with the left side. Maybe you reach that right arm out long. And then start to journey that leg across the body. Maybe you simply just touch the toes down or the foot. Or maybe you start to twist a little bit more onto that left side, trying to keep those right shoulder blades planted in and coming all the way down. Nice big full breath. See if you can soften, relax, release. If you want more from this, make sure that extended leg maybe stays extended. Mine always bends in a little bit. That'll help add some more in. Or you can start to straighten that top leg out. Beautiful. Taking another full round of breath. Big inhale. Big exhale. At the end of that next exhale, return the gaze to neutral. Maybe with a helping hand, you bring that leg back up and in, rolling back onto your back. Hug the leg in nice and strong. And exhale, release. Send both legs long. Bring the arms up overhead. Nice, good morning stretch. Reach it up. Exhale. Either hug both legs in or reach in for that nice happy baby. Finishing off. Maybe take a gentle roll from side to side. Feeling that nice massage through that low back, through the spine, through the shoulders. Trying to keep the head tucked so don't overarch anywhere here, but play around. This is also the freestyle portion, so if there's another pose or movement or series of movements that your body is craving or desiring, by all means, listen to your body. You've got time. You've got all the time that you have set out for this to play around with that movement. Taking some time for what I call that freestyle portion. So some options are that waterfall pose. Maybe you hold it on to the legs or release the legs. Maybe you want that bridge pose, pressing the feet in, lifting up the hips. If you've got a block or a book or a pillow, nice supported bridge can feel really great. And from there you can even come into supported waterfall. Whatever your body needs, go ahead and take it. Take another bit of movement. If you're doing something on one side, finish it off on the other side. If you're twisting or got a side bend happening. And then when you're ready, start to that final resting pose, that final shavasana. Maybe just surrender completely to your mat. Roll the shoulders back and down. Tuck the chin. Outstanding. Whatever you'd like, feel free to take. Connect in with the breath. See if you can take 15 to 20 full inhale breaths. Maybe they're nice and slow. Exhale, let it go. Beautiful. I encourage you to take some time in your final shavasana pose, some time to meditate, some time to maybe reflect on your practice, to remember that intention that you took at the beginning of class. Whatever it is that you need. I hope that the rest of your evening is filled with joy. Same with your weekend. And may you always be blessed. Thanks for joining in tonight. Have a lovely Easter weekend. Bye for now. We'll see you tomorrow night.